Why did the Mac go to therapy? Because it had too many windows open. Welcome to the eternal debate, Mac versus PC in the professional office environment. It's a rivalry as old as time, or at least as old as personal computing. The battle lines have been drawn, folks. On one side, we have the sleek, chic, and ever so slightly smug Mac users. On the other, the practical, versatile, and slightly nerdy PC enthusiasts. It's like the Sharks and the Jets, but without the cool dance moves. Or the Montagues and Capulets, if Shakespeare had written about operating systems. Each side is convinced they're in the right, and they're not afraid to let the other side know it. If you've ever been caught in the crossfire of a Mac versus PC debate, you know it can get heated. So stick around, folks. We're about to dive deep into the world of Macs and PCs, and hopefully we won't start World War III in the process. You know, they say you can't put a price on happiness. But you can put a price on a Mac, and boy, is it a big one. It's like Apple's playing a high-stakes game of how much can we charge before customers storm our headquarters with pitchforks and torches. And it seems like we're still not there yet because people keep buying them. Now compare that to PCs. You could practically buy a small island for the price of some Macs. Well, maybe not an island, but certainly a very nice inflatable pool. And let's not forget, with a PC, you get the joy of assembling it piece by piece, like a high-tech jigsaw puzzle. It's like two hobbies in one. Let's face it, folks, Macs are the gourmet, five-star restaurant experience of the tech world, while PCs are your friendly neighborhood diner, affordable, reliable, and won't make you take out a second mortgage. So, if you're looking for a computer that won't make your wallet cry, maybe steer clear of the Apple Store. In the red corner, weighing in at a hefty amount of processing power, we have the PC. And in the blue corner, with its sleek design and fancy logo, we have the Mac. Now let's dive into the nitty-gritty of processing power and capabilities. Imagine the processor as the brain of your computer. A bigger brain doesn't necessarily make you smarter, right? Just like the old saying, it's not the size that counts, but how you use it. So let's see how these two titans use their brains. On one hand, we have the PC, with a brain that's like a heavy-duty truck. It's got the power to haul a massive load, capable of running multiple heavy applications simultaneously. It's the kind of brain that's perfect for those who need to multitask, like a one-man band playing the drums, guitar, and harmonica all at once. On the other hand, the Mac, with its brain, is more like a high-speed bullet train. It's sleek, efficient, and optimized for speed. It gets you from point A to point B in a flash, and it does so in style. Ideal for creative professionals who need to run demanding applications like video editing or 3D rendering. It's like a maestro conducting a symphony, every element in perfect harmony. But what about upgrades? Well, the PC is like a Lego set. You can add, remove, or replace parts as you please. Need more power? Just pop in a new processor or add some extra RAM. It's a tinkerer's dream. The Mac, however, is more like a sealed toy box. What you get is what you get. It's all perfectly curated and optimized to work together, but with limited options for upgrades or modifications. It's a minimalist's dream, where every piece is meticulously chosen for optimal performance. So, in terms of power, it's a bit of a toss-up. But remember, it's not about the size of the processor in the fight, it's about the size of the fight in the processor. Ever tried plugging a toaster into a fishbowl? No? Well, that's kind of what using some software on a Mac feels like. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Macs are fishbowls, but there are times when you're trying to run that obscure one-of-a-kind, only available on Windows software, and your Mac looks at you like you've just asked it to perform a backflip. The same goes for PCs when you're trying to run Final Cut Pro. It's kind of like asking your dog to meow. It's just not going to happen. Remember that time you wanted to play that cool new game everyone was raving about, only to realize it was a Windows exclusive? It's like being invited to a party but you're wearing a clown suit. Sure, you could try to fit in, but you're not fooling anyone. And let's not forget about that one time you were working on a project, using a software that was supposedly compatible with both Mac and PC. But the moment you switched from your Mac to your PC, it was like trying to read hieroglyphics in the dark. And you thought learning a new language was hard. It's not all doom and gloom, though. There are workarounds like running Windows on your Mac through a virtual machine or using a compatibility layer like Wine on your PC. But that's like trying to turn your toaster into a fishbowl or your fishbowl into a toaster. It can be done, but it's not quite the same, is it? The reality is, software compatibility can be a bit of a minefield, whether you're Team Mac or Team PC. It's like choosing between eating a hot dog with a fork or a spoon. Neither choice is perfect, but one might be a little less messy than the other. So if you're a software junkie, you might want to consider whether you're more of a fishbowl or a toaster kind of person. So we've laughed, we've cried, and we've probably offended both Mac and PC users equally. But let's recap our whimsical journey through this technological maze. The price tag comedy had us chuckling. Macs may cost a pretty penny, but hey, so does a Picasso. Then, we dove into the power struggle, the formidable PC, flexing its customizable muscles, and the sleek Mac, showing off its streamlined strength. The compatibility conundrum had us all in stitches, with PCs and Macs playing a never-ending game of who can work with more software. It's like watching two siblings bicker over who's got more friends. So what's the final verdict, you ask? Well, it's a bit like choosing between chocolate and vanilla. It all comes down to personal preference. And remember, there's no wrong choice, unless you're still stuck in the typewriter era. At the end of the day, whether you're a Mac or a PC person, we can all agree on one thing. At least we're not still using typewriters.